Yes, this is terrible, but maybe there's a bright side. Pope admitted that referees reward coaches who throw tantrums, but with good intentions, of course. Really? Let's analyze. They're all there for the same goal: to make college basketball a fair and exciting experience. And ultimately, it's that pragmatic mindset that defines Mark Pope's approach to officiating in the SEC, a balance of understanding, self-criticism, and firmness when necessary. Pope isn't just trying to navigate the complexities of officiating, he's building bridges. He recognizes that referees are human, subject to the same pressures and flaws as anyone in a position of high responsibility. That doesn't mean he agrees with every call or that he passively accepts what he considers unfair. On the contrary, his openness in admitting that coaches can be rewarded for tantrums reveals a rare tactical acumen. He understands that in an environment as competitive as the SEC, every detail counts, even the way a coach communicates with the men in black. But here's what sets Pope apart. He doesn't resort to constant melodrama to get attention. Instead, he chooses his moments carefully, knowing that a whisper can have more impact than a shout. This philosophy reflects not only his leadership style, but also his commitment to staying focused on what really matters: the team's performance on the court. He knows that the players' energy and the game's momentum can easily be diverted by heated arguments with the officials. So even when he decides to lose it, it's always strategic, never impulsive. Pope's journey this season has been marked by a noticeable evolution in his approach. At first, he adopted a mostly passive stance, avoiding direct confrontations and seeking to better understand the workings of SEC officiating. This learning curve was crucial, especially since he was entering a conference known for its intensity and high level of competition. By participating in symposiums and analyzing trends, Pope demonstrated a genuine willingness to learn and adapt. However, as the season progressed, he realized that being overly complacent also had its downsides. After all, referees, like any human being, can be influenced by external factors, including the way coaches behave. This realization led Pope to adjust his strategy. He began incorporating moments of assertiveness, but always with moderation and purpose. When asked about the idea that the squeaky wheel gets the grease, he didn't deny the validity of that statement, but he also contextualized it within his own philosophy. For him, it's not about yelling louder or more often, but about using communication effectively. A well-placed comment, a constructive observation, or even a criticism delivered in the right tone can go a long way than a theatrical outburst. This approach reflects a maturity that could only come from someone who has faced the challenges of coaching in a league as demanding as the SEC. Pope understands that the relationship between coaches and referees is a two-way street. While the referees are getting used to his style and learning about Kentucky, he is also learning about them. It's a process of mutual construction, where both sides seek to find a balance that benefits the game as a whole. However, Pope does not fail to recognize the difficulties inherent in the work of the referees. He publicly praises them, highlighting their competence and goodwill, even when the decisions seem unfavorable. This approach is not only diplomatic, it is strategic. By treating the referees with respect and empathy, Pope creates an environment where communication flows better and where it is easier to resolve misunderstandings without them turning into larger conflicts. As Kentucky prepares for the SEC tournament, these lessons learned throughout the regular season take on even greater relevance. In a knockout tournament, where every possession can be decisive, the ability to manage delicate situations, including interactions with the referees, can make all the difference. Pope seems determined to ensure that his team is ready not only physically, but also emotionally and strategically. Pope's approach to officiating is a reflection of who he is as a coach. Someone who values collaboration, seeks constructive solutions, and understands that success comes not only from talent on the court, but also from the ability to navigate the less glamorous aspects of the game. He is shaping a culture where adaptability, respect, and emotional intelligence are as important as shooting and relentless defense. And perhaps that's exactly what makes Mark Pope so special. He doesn't just want to win, he wants to win the right way. How important is it for the Cats to keep a strong staff in 2025? Kentucky's bid to revitalize its offense in 2025 is centered on two fundamental pillars: continuity of the offensive staff and the influx of new talent via transfers. After a 2024 season marked by frustrations, injuries, and difficult adjustments, Mark Stoops made a strategic decision by retaining Bush Hamden as offensive coordinator and Eric Wolford as offensive line coach. This choice reflects the conviction that stability in the leadership can be the key to correcting the problems that plagued the team last year. The logic behind this decision is clear. With so many changes expected in the starting lineup, including new names at crucial positions such as quarterback, tackle, guard, center, and wide receiver, maintaining the same staff structure provides a level of predictability and cohesion that is essential for the team's development. For Stoops, that continuity not only speeds up the players' learning process, but also allows coaches to better anticipate critical situations during games, something that was lacking in key moments last season. It definitely helps with the continuity of the team, Stoops said, referring to the retention of Hamden and Wolford. You go into the season and realize that Hamden, was calling plays for the first time in the SEC. Obviously, he knew what he was getting into, but maybe what can we do? What do we do well? Where did we fail early on? And try to adapt to things and be able to function and be able to anticipate those critical situations that we talked about and be better prepared. That introspection reveals a crucial point. The experience Hamden gained in his SEC play-calling debut will be invaluable in 2025. For much of last season, the Wildcats' offense suffered from limitations that went beyond tactical decisions. Injuries to the offensive line have compromised quarterback protection and made it difficult to establish a consistent running game. Additionally, the unstable situation at quarterback has prevented the team from finding a solid offensive identity. Stoops has publicly acknowledged on several occasions that Hamden was dealt a bad hand to work with, but that doesn't entirely excuse the underwhelming performance. With a new and healthier roster, Hamden is expected to have better tools to shape the offense. The arrival of Dante Dowdell, a transfer from Nebraska, promises to provide stability to the backfield as the starting tailback, while other additions via the transfer portal bring depth and versatility to previously weakened positions. This influx of new talent, combined with the experience the staff gained over the course of last season, paints a bullish picture for the Wildcats. Additionally, the continuity of the staff offers another significant advantage: the ability to build an adaptive and integrated system. During last season, Hamden admitted that many of the tactical decisions were made with a primary focus on protecting the quarterback, given the weakness of the offensive line. Now, with a more experienced and talented line, the offense is expected to expand its repertoire, incorporating more variations and quick responses to opposing defensive adjustments. Stoops has repeatedly emphasized that the success of the season will depend on Hamden and the rest of the offensive staff's ability to improve the offense in every aspect. That includes not only maximizing the potential of the new players, but also ensuring that the scheme is flexible enough to exploit the opponent's weaknesses. The idea is to create a balanced offense that combines explosiveness in the air with efficiency on the ground, something that has been a hallmark of Kentucky teams under Stoops. Hamden's role in this process cannot be understated. He has not only gained valuable game day experience, but has also been an active part of building the current roster, helping to recruit and integrate players who fit into the offensive system. This synergy between recruiting and tactical execution is essential to ensuring that the offense functions as a cohesive unit, minimizing miscommunication and maximizing efficiency. For Kentucky, 2025 represents an opportunity for redemption. With a solid offensive staff and a roster bolstered through the transfer portal, the Wildcats are betting big on a combination of continuity and renewal. The goal is clear: to translate the lessons learned from the struggles of 2024 into practical solutions for 2025. If Hamden and his staff can deliver a more dynamic and resilient offense, the Wildcats may finally achieve the balance needed to compete at a high level in the ever-challenging SEC. And we'll see how that pans out. Comment below.